Welcome back to KGSM-TV. I'm Kenny G. This week we are highlighting the life and legacy of Black artist Gordon Parks. Gordon Parks lived from 1912 to 2006. He was an artist who became the first African-American photographer for Life and Vogue magazines. He first picked up a camera when he was 25. He was inspired by photographs from immigrant workers. He photographed a variety of things such as fashion, portraits, and eventually took photos of low-income Black neighborhoods. After working as a photographer for the Farm Security Administration, Parks got a job as a freelance photographer for Vogue. That job led to him becoming a photographer for Life magazine, taking pictures of fashion, sports, segregation, and poverty. In 1969, he became the first African American to direct a major Hollywood movie. He is remembered for pioneering works as photography exposing segregation in the United States. Check out Gordon Parks out at gordonparksfoundation.org. Now over to Jaden Miller for more.
Thank you, Kenny. Missouri Western's Black Student Union has planned various events in honor of Black History Month.
Their most recent meeting discussed cultural appropriation compared to cultural appreciation. KGSM's Kendall Edwards has more on this story.
There is a thin line between cultural appropriation and appreciation. The Black Student Union discussed during the meeting, speaking their opinions on the matter and relating their experiences to the subject.
It's important for everyone to understand a cultural appreciation because it's a chance for people to get to know other cultures and without appropriating it.
Conversations about cultural appropriation can be uncomfortable when a barrier exists between groups. The discussion stirred into African Americans' concerns on preserving their cultural identity.
We losing our jobs. If we want to keep playing this sport, we got to cut our hair, and whatever the case may be, you know. So it's the difference in reaction for it.
The students were open to speaking on the complicated prejudice of other cultures appropriating hairstyles and what misunderstandings can lead to.
You don't even know that, oh yeah, they just got their hair done from a Black person, or if they have a Black family member. You just look at them automatically, they're white with the broad spray. Boom, that's what you automatically assume to. You don't assume that, oh yeah, they have other, involvement.
Students did not mind educating other groups on the issue of appropriation, agreeing that there must be open-mindedness between cultures for change.
A lot of times, what may come off as appreciation might get perceived as appropriation. So just educating people on the difference between the two to kind of break down that stigma around the topic.
Reporting from KGSM, Kendall Edwards.
To be a part of discussions like this, you can participate in the Black Student Union meetings held on Wednesdays.
To celebrate Black History Month, the NAACP hosted a Finish the Lyric competition.
Students showed off their singing and memory skills during the NAACP Finish the Lyric competition. This competition celebrated African American culture by showcasing many songs by Black artists. This music is very important to Black culture.
So music is a way that you express yourself, obviously. So for the Black community, I feel like it was a way for people to finally open up and listen to us and be able to understand us in ways that maybe they don't understand, but we can articulate in music.
Events like this celebrate Black History Month, which means a lot to students.
Black History Month for me means everything. We get to celebrate. We shouldn't even have a month. This should be Black History Month every day. But, it just means that we get to shine a light on all the Black excellent people in the world that don't really get credit as they should, and they need to. So that's what I'm hearing.
Black excellence is something that is showcased in events like this and is very important to the African American community.
Black History Month means to me it's a chance to basically celebrate Black excellence and a chance for us to get to know more about our culture and our history and explore us, like our roots.
It's important because it's ran by Black students, of course, Black students of excellence. They give out great information, not only within their organization, but things on campus if you need help with anything, as far as not just events social events, parties, stuff like that, but work, ways to get groceries, stuff like that, just a whole bunch of stuff.
The NAACP in particular holds a lot of significance for students at Missouri Western.
It gives us a voice in a way, and I think that's really cool because I feel like everyone needs a voice.
Reporting for KGSM-TV, I'm Trinity Knapp.
For more information on events, check out their Instagram at MoWestNAACP.
A leading problem I've faced is a misunderstanding on the part of students of the importance of academic advising. They miss appointments. They don't make appointments. But what's most disappointing is when they come unprepared. Give me a student with a plan in their head, or better yet, on paper. We could talk about their interests, not just about their classes. We could discuss internships, classwork, grad programs. It would open the door to what advising is truly about.
Can I help you?
but instead they come to me in a panic when they need to
I
register because...
need to talk to you. I was trying to register for my classes, but it wouldn't let me do it because I need my PIN, and I haven't had time to set up an advising, so I don't even know what classes I need to take, so I just signed up for a bunch of random ones, and I'm going to drop them later. So can I have my PIN real fast, because I'm still logged into a computer in the lab? Am I interrupting?
Take ownership of your education. Make the most of your advisement by being proactive, punctual, and prepared. You'll open the door to more personalized attention and avoid costly setbacks. It's never too soon to begin planning your next steps at Missouri Western.
So Jaden, do you know what colorism is?
I do not. What's the definition of colorism?
Well, colorism is prejudice and discrimination against people with darker skin tones. This is more prominent in the African American community. And the NAACP scheduled an event this last week in honor of colorism, and I got a chance to check it out.
I am black.
I am black. I am black.
I am black.
The NAACP here at Missouri Western kicked off Black History Month with their colorism seminar, educating students and community members about discrimination within the African American community. I spoke with the president of the NAACP, Tadeja Weekly, to discuss the importance of speaking on colorism at the beginning of Black History Month.
Our goal for Black History Month is to raise awareness to these issues and create resources and safe spaces for Black people, but specifically dark-skinned people, because we're targeted the most.
Many spoke out about the difficulties dealing with colorism growing up and the effects it had on them as they got older. NAACP board member Deja Stalder spoke about the advantages of introducing colorism to the youth.
I think it's very important to teach them when they're young, because that's kind of where it starts. That's kind of where people are figuring out who they are. So if we are able to teach, darker skinned little girls or boys that they're beautiful, their skin tone, their hair, just everything about them.
For more information regarding upcoming events, please follow the Mo West NAACP on Instagram and Twitter. Reporting for KGSM-TV, I'm Kenny G. For more information regarding upcoming events, please follow the Mo West NAACP on Instagram and Twitter.
WAC hosted an event on February 3rd located in Fulkerson with comedian and writer Anthony Moore filling the room with laughter. Missouri Western's own elite dance team performed to warm up the crowd to start the event. Anthony Moore created an interactive experience with the crowd to make his routine more personal for the students. Anthony's routine spoke on relationships, performing on Zoom due to COVID, racial issues, and family.
To be in front of a live crowd again, it definitely feels great. For so much of the pandemic, I've been doing comedy 11 years now. February made it 11 years I've been doing comedy. The pandemic from March 2020 to August 2020, that's the longest break I've ever had in comedy since I first started. Usually, I try not to go more than a week without performing. I try to perform every day.
You can find Anthony Moore's content on TikTok, YouTube, or Twitter. We'll be right back after this break.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
Luke Tice, the former interim director, has now been promoted to head director and head coach position for Griffin Esports.
Reporter Darren Brinks has more on this story.
Griffin Esports has recently announced that Luke Tice has officially been promoted from interim director to head director and head coach of Griffin Esports. Luke Tice talked to me about where he started as a student and how he got into esports in the first place.
I chose to attend Missouri Western in 2015 based on the fact that the classroom sizes were smaller, and I also enjoyed the football team and the coaches that I had met. So I really came here focused on football and the classroom. Obviously, through that time period, it transitioned into esports. Well, I always loved video games. I played a lot of video games throughout middle school, high school, going into college. Funny fact, in 2017, I tried to start a college Rocket League team here through the CCA division by creating basically a chapter at Missouri Western, but I just couldn't find 2 students that were interested in Rocket League, so I couldn't get it going. And then when I heard about the former President Wilson coming here and what he did at Akron with esports and all that, I reached out to him and Christian Congswell at the time, who was the director of the program, and provided that, they created that opportunity for me to be the GA of the program and kind of get me involved.
Luke Tice continued on to talk more specifically on his role as the new head director and head coach of Griffin Esports and how he hopes to keep supporting esports at Missouri Western.
Yeah, so transitioning from interim director to director/head coach, it's basically more just, long-term planning, building the foundation, setting up the organization, doing all that type of stuff so I can start planning long-term. And, it's more of basically now the program, in a sense, is going out on the attack compared to us kind of, being reactionary. Kind of when something would come in, I would just basically respond to it with the, the supervision of my bosses at the time, since I was in an interim role. Now we can kind of start planning for the future, planning ahead, and making sure that, we're going in a direction that not only helps the program, but it supports the students and gives them opportunities, because that's our biggest thing with the program. We want to give our students opportunities, not only to be competing as eSport athletes, but also, propelling them into the future with their professions and, getting a job after graduating and getting their degree.
The esports staff and players are even excited to see what more Luke Tice has to bring towards the esports program.
Yeah, Luke was the GA before he became the interim director, and so we got to know him through that because the previous director had him do a lot of stuff with us to get, introduce us to esports, because it was brand new at that time and brand new to everybody. So he was kind of helping us through the whole process, and to see him become the director is kind of is a good thing for him.
Overall, the students are comfortable and fully support the new position Luke Tice is in. I'm Darren Brinks with KGSM-TV, signing off.
After 3 years of cancellations, Missouri Western and Phi Mu Alpha hosted their annual Jazz Festival. On February 10th, the Fulkerson Center housed 15 high school and middle school bands, the Missouri Western Jazz Ensemble, and guest performer, the Adam Larson Trio. Unlike other jazz festivals at Missouri Western, this festival is non-competitive.
This festival is for the schools to come in and get as much clinic time from the adjudicators. So basically what I've done is I set up kind of a unique system where they have the room for a full hour. They come in, warm up in that room, play in the room, and the adjudicators come up to work with them. So the directors are able to adjust their time to get as much time with the adjudicators. It's all about learning. It's all about the experience. The students gain more knowledge. The directors gain more knowledge. So yeah, I kept it non-competitive for that purpose.
Music together should be performed through art and not through competition, because oftentimes that will drive students away from it altogether, and we don't really want that in music. We want to get as many students exposed to music and to feel the enjoyment of music as possible.
Check out the School of Fine Arts calendar for upcoming performances.
I got the chance to speak with senior defensive back Sam Webb as he prepares to make the transition from college football to the NFL. Here's what he had to say.
Well, there's a lot of things that I've had to grow in.
Senior Sam Webb caps off his stellar collegiate career here at Missouri Western with an invitation to the NFL Combine. The Combine will be on March 1st at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis.
Sam Webb is having himself a game.
Webb joins college football's top prospects in the ultimate showcase of physical and mental skills. The invitation makes Webb the only representative from a Division II program, and while many may be nervous at the opportunity, Sam is ready for the moment.
it's not really more of me being nervous. It's more of me just like being excited to be able to take advantage of the opportunity. This is regular if you want to go and play in the NFL, you know what I'm saying? So to me, it's just like it's the next step, and you just got to treat it as the next step.
Intercepted the 2. It was tipped up and picked up by Sam Webb near sideline. To the 30, gets the buck to the 40, to the 50. One man to beat. There goes Sam Webb. 20, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Throughout his college career, Webb has gotten the chance to play alongside NFL defensive backs like Houston Texans' Jonathan Owens and Kansas City Chiefs' Brendan Dandridge. He spoke on the advice he receives from his former teammates.
J.O. would just be like, J.O. kind of gets it a little quicker. He's a high football IQ, but he would just tell me things like, just keep your head down and keep working. You know what I'm saying? Cliche things, but things that people, will hear in one ear and go out the other. You know what I'm saying? Stuff that you got to really hone in on.
Reporting for KGSM-TV, I'm Kenny G. We will take a closer look behind the scenes of KGSM after this break.
As fun as college is, it can be a really stressful time.
It's easy to feel alone.
Even in full classrooms, sometimes it still feels like you have no one.
It's especially easy to feel isolated during these crazy times.
It's hard to recognize the signs when you don't know them.
Don't be afraid to reach out and get help.
There are always ways to get help on campus.
The counseling center is always ready to work with you.
There's also lots of ways to get help off campus.
There are several different hotlines you can reach out to.
Make sure to check in on your friends and family.
Keep an eye out for the signs.
There's no shame in recognizing that you're struggling.
There's no shame in asking for help.
There is no shame in taking care of yourself.
You and your mental health are the priority.
See the signs. Take action.
Take action.
Take action.
Take action.
Take action.
Take action.
I'd really encourage, if you need to talk to someone, reach out to us. That's what we're here for.
Have you ever wondered what it's like to put on this broadcast? Well, I have given you that inside look. Here's what it's like at KGSM.
I think anyone is capable of doing it. If I'm capable of doing it and I'm not even a journalism major, then anyone can do it.
I would say definitely join KGSM-TV because, it is work, but it's fun.
Manage your time, but also be persistent.
KGSM-TV is a course offered on campus and is run by students and faculty.
How much it would push me out of my comfort zone in a good way, because when you go and interview people, you have to go and talk to pretty much strangers, like people you haven't met before, so it's helped me a lot in branching out and just getting comfortable being uncomfortable.
Students that participate in the video desk are responsible for writing, filming, and editing their own stories each week.
My favorite part is watching you guys grow. I have grown so much in my position, but for me to be able to help you guys grow and realize that you actually enjoy what you're doing, it means a lot to me.
Most of these students are interested in a career involving either journalism or communications, but the class is open as an elective for anyone interested in taking the course.
If we didn't have the people to run cameras or to run teleprompter or to do sound or direct, we wouldn't have a show.
Those involved in KGSM also have opportunities to seek out careers in film. Students on the video desk work hand in hand with staffers at the St. Joseph News Press. The Griffins meet each Friday to film the TV show. After taking some time to set up cameras, lights, and microphones, they begin. After the show ends and the studio is cleared, the directors post the show on YouTube for everyone to enjoy.
My favorite part about being in KGSM-TV would be the applied learning and just the chemistry between the crew and just being able to just teach people and actually learn stuff that you'll need to know in the professional world.
Be sure to tune in weekly for more updates on campus news. Reporting for KGSM-TV, I'm Jaden Miller. We love what we do here, and we hope you love it too.
There's a lot to check out next week on campus.
BSU will be hosting a week full of events, starting off with Puppy Love at 7-Eleven in Blum 218.
For more information, check out their Instagram at MWSU_BSU20.
That's all we have this week.
Be sure to check us out next week for what's happening around campus.